thinking, in Rocky 1 and 2, we saw that great striving for fame and to reach that pinnacle. This film is very much about staying there, but I get the feeling that in all your films, you're trying to give this great hope and determination that if you want to do something, you really can.
Well, that's something I certainly believe in, because opportunities, the way life is, seem to be on the decrease. And if you listen to your inner voice sometimes, and you really are realistic with yourself and have a dream and a desire, you only have really one opportunity, one lifetime in which to pursue it. So I say at least try, and if you fail, at least you can live with it. There is no mystery. You've solved that mystery. You know you gave it your best shot. So I am a firm believer in just trying it, going for it.
In the fact that you took the germ of the idea of Rocky and you took it to enormous success, I mean, to a certain extent, does Rocky mirror your own life?
Very much. It's kind of autobiographical. Of course, I've never been a professional fighter, but I thought the fighting would be a good symbolic representation of what it's like to fight your way up and fight for your dreams and whatever your wants are in life. So I took my particular frustrations as an actor and as a writer and not being able to be recognized and put it in the embodiment of a boxer, because everyone can kind of identify with that war that goes on in the ring there. And the main thing is that with each film, after living a couple years and then I do a sequel, I try to incorporate my experiences. And between Rocky II and Rocky III, I kind of went through a variety of personal traumas. So I put them into Rockies, and I felt the third one is, I guess, the most personal of the three.
But when you say that you went into a lot of personal trauma, I mean, in what way? How does success go to your own head?
Well, success is really a double-edged sword. No one ever writes a book on how to deal with success. You know, right away you look at the magazines when I was starting out and say, oh, I'd never do that. I'll never buy these cars. I'll never buy a big mansion. I'll never do this. I'll never, the parties and whatever. Well, before you know it, you are hosting your own parties on a giant yacht, surrounded by millions of cars and things and everything. And the mistakes are being made, and fear sets in. There's a kind of a sense of animal protectiveness that you don't want to lose what you have. So it brings out some very base qualities in people. Once you've been struggling and you have it, you don't want to lose it. So instead of always looking for what movie to do next because of an artistic reason, you say, I wonder if this is financially sound, and I wonder what this actor is doing, I wonder how much box office this is, and it just becomes jaded. And it began to grab hold of me, and pretty much I allowed myself to be manipulated through managers and agents and lawyers, and I don't blame them. It's my fault, because that's what happens. So right away it was this having to kind of like draw back, find that eye of the tiger again, to go back to the way it was in the beginning when I had nobody, and that's what I try to portray in Rocky III, just stripping away all the gloss, the cheap flash, and going back, at least psychologically, to the beginning, a oneness with yourself.
Because it's all been very much you from the beginning, and because of the great success, do you find that people virtually regard you as Rocky?
Oh, yeah.
Just call you Rocky.
Oh, yeah. I walked the streets for 29 years, and not one person asked for an autograph. I know it's hard to believe, but it's fact, nobody was really interested. No, not at all. Matter of fact, I'd say, here, do you want an autograph? They said, get away from me, we'll have you arrested, you lech. So I never really paid much attention to it. But now with the Rocky thing, I think you have to be really realistic and almost have a little sardonic sense of humor about notoriety and achieving a certain recognition. That people, when they rush up, they are looking at the character. Sylvester Stallone just happens to be a name in the wallet, but the person, the persona, is the image that is created through the media. Like, for example, I've been to the White House 3 times, and every time I go to the White House, all 3 presidents had, hi, Rock, how are you? What's happening? When are you fighting again? I said, this man is running the country? I can't believe this.
Do people also come up and sort of try and prove to themselves how tough you really are and try and take you on?
Mostly women.
Oh, really?
I don't know why. I don't know. Have we been holding you back so long that you get that opportunity to get a beer in them, they take that?
How?
Oh, all the time. I mean, if women were really trained to box, we'd be in big trouble.
You think so?
Oh, I mean, you know, just about in every species, the female is the hunter, isn't it? And we're the hunted.
I'm not committing myself at all in this.
I'm ready. You're not going to, okay. Don't go into training, please.
But I noticed, for example, that you have a couple of what I would call fairly big lads traveling around with you all the time. To a certain extent,
Those are my
do you
sisters.
Your sisters. Do you get trapped
Tony
in this
and
kind of
Dino,
thing?
my sisters.
I hope I don't see them outside afterwards, I'll tell you.
No, it was great. It was in the newspaper the other day. They said Sylvester Stallone was seen running out of a disco with two young nubiles. If those are young nubiles, God, the human race is in a sorry condition. Two young, giant gorilla nubiles, yes. So, no, what happens is, because people sometimes can't differentiate between reality, and they look at my face and see a punching bag, they want to go up there and prove something. So what happens is you really do need a security specialist to stop that. I didn't have it, and it's cost me many hours of grievances and court costs and $400,000 in lawsuits. So you either walk around with a trash can on your head so no one can hit you, or you just have to play the fame game, you know, and that's all part of it. It's unfortunate, but it just seems with the tragedies of John Lennon and so on and so forth, America is it's kind of like America is one big giant Western, you know. Everyone's just shooting and running around and things, so.
And as long as you're the sheriff, that's all right.
Yeah. As long as you got a fast horse, you're all right.